The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn may be a classic children's book, but it's got a problem. That great adventure story about a white boy and an escaped slave traveling down the Mississippi on a raft, it's full of racial stereotypes and racist language, including more than 100 uses of the N-word. And yet the first-time writer Enrique Salmon read it, that's not what he noticed. Today's bookmark, the story of how Huckleberry Finn changed a young man's life.
I'm Enrique Salmon. I'm a professor of American Indian Studies at California State University, East Bay. And I've also written the book Eating the Landscape, and I have a book coming out right now about American Indian ethnobotany called Iwígara. When I was growing up, I couldn't really read or write or speak English very well up until like 11th grade. It's amazing I even made it to 11th grade. And then there was a teacher, an English teacher, Mrs. Anderson, who decided she was going to bring me up to speed with regards to being able to read and write in English. And she introduced me to Mark Twain, and more specifically, Huckleberry Finn. And I remember working my way through Huckleberry Finn and reading about Huck and Jim and the Mississippi River and all of those things. It really had this impact on me as a person of color, of how people from different ethnic backgrounds can just be friends in that space along the Mississippi River in this area that was actually very racist. I can understand where people are coming from with the use of the N-word that Mark Twain used, but I look at it from the perspective that Mark Twain was writing in a period and from a perspective emerging from his own experience. He never says if he liked or disliked the word. It was just that was his experience and the fictional character's experience. And we have to acknowledge that, that experience and be mindful that, cultures and people change through time. And today we realize that that word is not acceptable anymore, and we have to respect that as well. That book led me to other Mark Twain books. It led me to Hemingway and The Old Man and the Sea. It led me to Steinbeck and to Faulkner, and ever since, I've just had this incredible fascination with books and with reading, and to the point where, I'm a writer myself. And that's the power of a 11th grade English teacher, taking it upon herself to teach a young native guy to read and write through Mark Twain.
Today's bookmark, the story of how Huckleberry Finn changed a young man's life. Enrique Salmon making the case for Huckleberry Finn. I'm Anne Strainchamps, host of To the Best of Our Knowledge. Welcome to the third season of Bookmarks, tiny stories from writers about books they love. You can check them out at ttbook.org/bookmarks.